Vehine. Kmei Kain, similarly, turn to page Kuf Lamed Alf Beis. Same is also true, Mizivug Zun Debya. In Bri, Yetzir Nasi, there's also a name from Zivug Zun. Stop. We're learning in Igeras HaKodesh, which is teaching us to be very simplistic in general, that Yesh Miyayin requires two opposite contributions. Right? The first contribution is Ein Sof because of Emein Amoir. The second contribution is Kalim and Malchus because of the Hischalkus and the Agbola and the Havdalah and the Helim and so forth. Right? So Malchus of Atzilus creates Yesh Miyayin. Why? Because Malchus of Atzilus is separate, Malchus of Atzilus divides, and Malchus of Atzilus is a Keli for Ein Sof based on the principle of Not Chalas HaMasef. He says, but guess what? Not only Malchus of Atzilus makes Yesh Miyayin, Bria makes Yesh Miyayin, Legabi Yetzira. Yetzira makes Yesh Miyayin, Legabi Asiya. And Asiya makes Yesh Miyayin, Legabi Asiya Gashmis. Hastes that in every place you have to have these two aspects. What are the two aspects? Oid Ein Sof and Malchus. The problem is there's no Oid Ein Sof and Bria. So the Alter Rebbe says, I want you to know, similarly, Mizivik Zun Debya. The Bria Yetzira Asiya itself. When you have a union of Zeirampin and Nukva, Nivru would create Miyayin Liyesh in a way that should appear independent and separate. Because you don't know which source, Kol HaNevrayim, V'Haneitzim, V'Hanasim, everything in Bria. Please look inside. Everything in Yetzira and everything in Asiya, Ayadei Eid HaNeshama. So the light of Eid HaNeshama. Eid HaNeshama, as I told you a couple of days ago, is Eid Ein Sof. I'm sorry, it's a Likus. It's not Ein Sof, it's limited, but it's a Likus. And Nefesh Ruach and Kalim of Nara, Nefesh Ruach and Neshama are Gvul and Nivdal, and Nivra. Eid Neshama is limited, but it's godly. Says Alter Rebbe, even in Bria, Eid Ein Sof comes. And it comes in such a way that creates Yesh Miyayin with the Keich of the Ein Sof through the Eid HaNeshama. Wait 1 minute. Shebetaychan, that inside the Eid HaNeshama, Shehi Alakus, which is Kalim, godliness, Kalim, the Yitzvid is the Malchus Atzilus, from the vessels, the 10 Kalim Malchus of Atzilus. In other words, Malchus of Atzilus produces 3 levels of Kalim, Neshama, Ruach, and Nefesh. The Neshama, the way it comes into Bria, continues to be a Lakus, even though it's Gvul, and then itself rests there. V'gam, moreover, not only is there godliness in the light of Neshama, in the deepest level of the limited light which is made in Bria, to create Yesh Miyayin, but B'teich ha'aras ha'kav, the Eid Ein Sof. Inside of the Eid HaNeshama, you have the Kav, which is Eid Ein Sof. Hamalubish ba'atzilus, it revealed itself in Atzilus. Ada parsa, till the curtain between Atzilus and Bria. In other words, Eid Ein Sof really ends in Atzilus. There's a lashon in the Rebbe's Rishimus that Zoh is Sefer Gil Ilmes Ein Sof. The Einampana of Atzilus, the end of Ein Sof, Malchus already outside the Ein Sof. So till Malchus of Atzilus, the Kav, which is the measured light of the Ein Sof, which we're learning about in the morning, and we're going to continue learning about in the morning with Hashem Himself, is Eid Ein Sof till Malchus. Says the Rebbe V'gam, moreover, V'ha'aras HaKav, and a little ray of this Kav, Shahaya Meir B'Kalim, the Yitzvidas, the Malchus, that was shining in the 10 Sfiras, in the vessels, or the 10 Sfiras, the Malchus of Atzilus, which is the end of godliness, Boka Parsa breaks through the curtain Imam together with the Lamed Kel Malchus Atzilus, or Meir Behem, and it radiates beyond the lower worlds of Bria, Yetzir, Nasiya, Kmei, B'Atzilus Mamash, like in the world of Atzilus Mamash. What did Alter Rebbe just say? Yesh Miyayin is done not only in Malchus of Atzilus, it's done in every world, because there's Eid Ein Sof everywhere. In Bria there's the Eid Ein Sof, in Yetzir there's Eid Ein Sof, and in Nasiya there's Eid Ein Sof. How? Through the Eid HaNeshama. And Neshama is godliness and limited. Inside of it there's Eid Ein Sof of the Kav, and this is the Keich to create Yesh Miyayin in the lower worlds.
The talk of that part is not a Nivra.
It is a Nivra, but it's miyuchad with Ein Sof, Livri behen v'yad ma'ayin liyesh.
It's a Nivra?
Yeah. Oh, the Eid HaNeshama is a Lakus b'gvul. V'chein, moreover, gam ha'kav b'yatzmei. The Kav by itself. In other words, not just because the principle of Boka HaParsa. Hamalubish, which is revealed b'siyim, v'seif nihida'ak, at the end and the conclusion of the lowest level of Adam Kadmon. Shu seif v'ragla yeshish lei, which is the lowest level of the ox tendency to be in a straight line. Hamistaimim b'malchus Atzilus, it finishes in Malchus of Atzilus. And therefore, we have a ha'ar of Kav in the lower worlds. In other words, saying 2 things. First of all, even though the Kav ends in Atzilus, it breaks through the pass that comes into Biyah. Second of all, there's something called the Yosher of Ak, the line of Ak, as opposed to the circle of Ak, or the different aspect of Ak, which the Chatchila goes through the whole Hishtashlos. Okay?
Does that mean that
in every place you have godliness, but it's hidden. And that's why in every place it's possible to have yesh me'ayin. He says the Alter Rebbe, ha'aras ha'kav, a light of the kav, which is Ein Sof. Me'ira shines misham from there, umislabeshes, and it reveals itself, be'er neshama, in the light of the neshama, which is the limited godliness in Bria. The Yutzviras, the Biyah, the 10 Sfiras of Biyah, Shu Lakus, which is a Lakus. So, Eid Ein Sof comes from the Eibishter. Eid Ein Sof is made in Atzilus, and that's why Malchus Atzilus have to get Yesh Me'ayin. Eid Ein Sof breaks through the Parsa and comes into the Neshama of Atzilus because it's a Lakus. You understand? Neshama is limited, but it's godliness, so it's Keli for it. Now a light of the light which comes into Neshama, Mislabesh has revealed itself b'nefesh ruach, the Yutzviras, the Biyah, the 10 Sfiras of nefesh and ruach of Biyah, which are not the Lakus. Okay? As well as no other vessel. Al takes it further. Not only is there Eid Ein Sof in Eid Neshama, and therefore to get Yesh Me'ayin, the ha'ara of Eid Ein Sof is made also in Eid Nefesh and Ruach, so they too should be able to create Yesh Me'ayin. The ha'ara, and a light of the Kav, who b'chol ha'nivraim, it's in all the creations, v'anetim and their formations, v'anasim and what's done, that's B'riya Tzir Nasiya, when Shekasa was the Pasuk says, Yamim b'chol Hashem b'hem, the sea and everything is in it, v'atam mechayes kulam, the Eibush, the Atam Ein Sof, gives life to everything. So the point is, Eid Ein Sof is shining in Atzilus to create Yesh Me'ayin. Ein Sof is shining in the Neshama of Bria to create Yesh Me'ayin, and then even is shining in the Eid Nefesh Ruach and in the worlds themselves to affect the creation of Yesh Me'ayin. Go ahead, tell me what you wanted to tell me.
It's a Neshama as a Nifra?
Yes.
A Nifra, but it's not a Yesh, or it is a Yesh?
It's not a Yesh.
What did you want to Yesh?
You're talking about the Neshama of Biyah, the Neshama of a Yid.
Yeah.
Eid Neshama Biyah is a Lakus and Nivra. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sure you could call it a Metzias. I'm not sure you could call it a Yesh. Now, the next point, I don't know why the Alter Rebbe brings it here. I have no idea. You have a similar point in Chav Hei, but not in Pastis. Why he brings this over here, I don't know. Zok the Alter Rebbe weiter. This is still the Tanya of Yom Kippur. However, I skipped a line. V'chol zois, everything we just described about Eid Ein Sof creating Yesh Me'ayin through the help of Kalim or through the help of Malchus and help of Biyah. Is the expansion, the revelation of life. La'achayesem, to give life to the lower worlds. However, Mitziyusei Umuhusei shall Eid Ein Sof, the essence of godliness itself, Eini Begeder Alman Klal, the worlds cannot tolerate it at all. The save of Kalam, it's hidden from all the worlds, V'shav in an equal way, as the Pasuk says, Es Hashemayim, Es Haaretz, Nimali, Be'ashva'a, Achas. I fill out the heaven and the earth, and there's no distinctions. Agabe Ak, everything is the same. For Leis Asad, there's no point, Pani, which is empty minay from him. Af, Ba'aretz, Halazu, Hagashmet, even in this planet earth. Rak, it's only Shuva B'chinas Makiv, the save is hidden. Ukmesh Kosa, Pirish B'kut Amam, it says in Tanya Perik Mamches, that save doesn't mean surround, save means hidden. So what did Alter Rebbe just say? That we now know there's Eid Ein Sof everywhere. There's Eid Ein Sof in Atzilus, Eid Ein Sof in Malchus, Eid Ein Sof in Neshama, there's Eid Ein Sof in Biyah B'chlal, and that's what they were to create Yesh Me'ayin. Says Alter Rebbe, what I want you to know, this Eid Ein Sof, which is in all of these places, is only a ha'ara of Ein Sof. The etzem of Eid Ein Sof is totally removed. Why he brings this business about etzem Ein Sof being totally removed, I don't know. What's it negate to us, basically? So he says, you should know that the etzem of Eid Ein Sof, let's read it again, the atom of Eid Ein Sof is hidden. V'loi, and it is not his pashtus, v'his slapshus, hachayis, la'achayesam, la'avesam, yayin liyesh. The atom of Eid Ein Sof does not expand and reveal itself to give them life and existence from a non-existential state to an existential state. Kiyim or the ha'ara v'chol me'kav kanal. The atom of Eid Ein Sof, I suppose you're going to say, is all over. But the atom of Eid Ein Sof is not contributing to Yesh Me'ayin. Dafka, a very small measure of the original light, as it's mislabish in Atzilus, and from Atzilus and Neshama, and from the Shi and Biyah, contributes to the creation of Yesh Me'ayin. Cannot. V'gam, additionally, moreover, the Me'eid Ein Sof ha'seviv v'makav la'ar ve'el masabiyah, from the infinite light of the Eibishter, which is seviv for all four worlds, Atzilus, Bria, Tzid, and Asiyah, v'shava, in an equal way, Me'er al ha'kav, Hapnimi, it shines to the inner kav, derech ha-kelim, the Yetziras, the Biyah, through the kelim of the 10 spheres of all four worlds of Bria, Tzir, and Asiyah. And when the Ein Sof shines into the vessels, it gives him the power and the might to create from a non-existential existence into a being. It says, since Bria happens through the Kalim, therefore they are created in a way of many and divided, or limitation and tachas and purpose, or especially through the letters. So Takid Alter Rebbe says the etzmus of Ein Sof does not reveal itself to create Yesh Me'ayin. Only the light of the Ein Sof reveals to create Yesh Me'ayin, and the light of the Ein Sof is able to create Yesh Me'ayin only with the help of the Kalim. You understand? And because of the Kalim, and specifically because of Malchus, it's able to create Yesh Me'ayin. So again, the Alter Rebbe repeats the point that you have to have a combination of the idea of Ein Amoed and the union of Igval and Chalkas. His point is really to say both things. That the creation of Yeshus requires Ein Sof. So he says that the Kav doesn't remain in Atzilus. He says the Gulam of the Kav or Bekeah breaks through and comes into Bria. And second of all, the Yosher of Kav, the Chatchila comes into Bria. And the point is that all over you have to have the Oyed Ein Sof to create Yesh Me'ayin, but Ein Sof by itself is not enough. You have to have a combination with Kalim and with Malchus and so on.